Rich Tarani with TMC here. We're doing a TMC Roadshow in San Jose on our program. Karl Dahlin, he is the VP of Sales of Corporate SMB at AVer. Karl, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about AVer, what you guys do.
Well, we're currently in the process of making video conferencing more accessible for small and medium business customers.
Okay, so how do you make it more accessible?
Well, currently there's a big demand for video conferencing out there, and customers today have two choices. One is install an expensive, costly solution that's complex from a Polycom or a Cisco, or go with consumer-based technology from Skype, which typically doesn't offer the quality and feature set that an SMB customer would look for. So we try and fill that middle gap. We try and provide systems that are high definition and feature-rich, yet at a price that's accessible to the SMB customers today.
Okay, and in terms of the total cost, is it the initial cost that they have and then a monthly recurring, or is it just a one-time setup? How does it work?
It's a one-time setup fee. So our approach to video conferencing is to make the solution more like an appliance, where even with a single SKU, you get a high-definition codec, a camera, a microphone, along with 3 years maintenance and support. And the entire first year is advanced replacement. So if anything goes wrong whatsoever, before we're off the phone with a customer, we've got a replacement unit on the way to them.
What sorts of total cost of ownership calculations have you done comparing yourself to some of the larger competitors out there?
Well, since you pay one time up front and you're good for 3 years, solutions vary from $2,000 to $3,000, for a cost for customers for that period of time. That compares to $10,000 plus for either subscription-based services or buying, equipment from one of the traditional video conferencing vendors.
Now, in terms of interoperability, what are some of the things that your products support?
So our systems are fully H.323 compliant. So they'll work with a Polycom, a Cisco solution, a life-size solution, and many of our customers choose to deploy them that way. But they're also fully SIP compliant. So we have a number of customers that have a ShoreTel or a Digium implementation for voice over IP, and they install our video conferencing endpoints just like any other endpoint on those networks.
Now, speaking of endpoints, that means that you could work with tablets and smartphones as long as there's some kind of SIP client?
Yeah, that's a great point. In fact, when you take a look at what's happening with infrastructure in the video conferencing space, customers are choosing to outsource a lot of that. And the cloud-based offerings from companies like BlueJeans Networks and Vidtel are a great alternative to traditional expensive MCUs. And AVer solutions happen to be fully compatible with both of those vendors, for example.
Do companies look to you to provide unified communications solutions as well, or is it just typically just video and don't worry about the integration with the rest of communications?
It's typically just video from AVer as a manufacturer, but we look for resellers that are able to bring the other elements of unified communications. So resellers that already have VoIP in their portfolio or other types of IP networking products are a great candidate that we look for in terms of building our channel out.
Okay, now in terms of price, we've talked about how you're a lower cost solution, you still have high quality, you've got interoperability. Are there any other benefits that potential purchasers should be aware of?
I think that it's important to understand that we're not only compatible on the higher end with products, but also with consumer-based solutions that are being used by small business customers quite a bit, like Skype, like FaceTime. And that's where leveraging technologies from BlueJeans and Vidtel allows us to integrate with the entire range. So not only on the high end, but on the low end as well.
And how big of a conference can you have in terms of just number of participants?
We ship one of our units with an internal 4-way MCU. So you can do 4-way videos, 4 rooms meeting together. If you're using one of our partners for bridging alternatives, of course, that varies with their plan, but upwards of 10 or more, it's really just a limit of the type of MCU service that you purchase.
And how long has the company been around?
We've been around for more than 20 years. Our primary focus for the last 5 years has been in the document camera space, where we're currently the market share leader in K-12 for educational institutions. So chances are, if you go into a classroom anywhere in the U.S. today, you'll find AVer document cameras. Last year, we entered the video conferencing space, leveraging the technologies around video and projection. And so far, it's going pretty well. We're very well received in the space that we're focusing on.
So you're kind of not a startup, but you've got new, cost-effective technology, but you've been around a long time to give a lot of comfort to potential buyers.
Absolutely. We've been around a long time. We're a $100 million company. We do the majority of our sales here in the U.S., and we understand what it takes to not only take care of customers, but to build out a channel.
And what's next?
Well, we'll continue to expand our partnerships in the video conferencing space and offer more flexibility and options for customers to make video conferencing even more accessible for our small and medium customer targets.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Rich.
Rich Tarani with TMC here. We're doing a TMC Roadshow in San Jose on our program. Karl Dahlin, he is the VP of Sales of Corporate SMB at AVer. Karl, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about AVer, what you guys do.
Well, we're currently in the process of making video conferencing more accessible for small and medium business customers.
Okay, so how do you make it more accessible?
Well, currently there's a big demand